Okay, welcome to our last asynchronous video day. So let's go ahead and start some recording on graphing. So this is the eventual outcome I'm looking for. I'm going to walk you through the first two. So first thing I'm going to do is just create a copy of this thing and move it to the end so that I've got my buttons and everything. But then I'm going to take these two graphs and get rid of them so I can start from scratch and take this text box out as well, and this one too. Okay, remember I've said repeatedly that Excel is selection dependent. So if you look on this thing, this is a 2017 to 2019 revenue analysis. Where do revenues come from? Revenues are income statement items. So if I go up here and find revenues, first thing I'm going to do is highlight from the title through the three values 2017 to 2019. Then we go to insert, and all in here is charts. As a novice, I suggest starting out with recommended charts and see what they suggest you do. And one of the ones they suggest right here is a basic simple line graph. So if we go ahead and select that, it gives us what the graph would look like. I'm going to go ahead and cut that graph out, and I'm going to paste it over here in the place that I wanted it. And now let's compare. I see a couple things are different. I have a gray background. I have no gray background. I have numbers on the line. I don't have numbers, and I don't have the years down below. So how can we do that? Excel is selection dependent. Click onto the graph. From here, one of the easiest ways to do it is press the button, and it will ask you, what do you want on here, for example? I could choose data labels, for example. And if I click this, this will give me even more options in terms of, do you want them in the center? Do you want them to be to the left? Do you want them to be right? Do you want them to be above? So let's go ahead and leave these ones. How about, I think they were above in the other one. So that's how I've got myself some data labels in there. Then, if I also have this graph selected, another thing I like to do is right mouse click on this outside, and I like to look at all of the options that are in here. One of the most important ones is select data. When I choose select data, here's what it tells me. I have a series and it's called revenue. If I click edit, it tells me the name of it is right here, series name. And if I go in the next field, it shows me the values of it are right here, so I can see where my data is coming from. Additionally, though, it's asking if I have a horizontal category, and all I have is 1, 2, and 3. What I can do is click edit there, and then go back to the income statement, and I can select this range of dates so that I now have labels 2017, 2018, 2019. Click OK. Then the rest of the stuff is just making the graph look pretty. Now look at these titles up here, chart design and format. Excel is selection dependent. They went away when I'm out here. If I click on this, they're up here. Under chart design, I have all kinds of standard designs that I could pick from if I wanted to, if there was a template that was out there that I liked. Or in here, I have the ability to change my colors and whatnot. And over here, I have the ability to do things like change all my formats, whether that's filling in the shape that I'm on right now, which is that triangle over there, or any other selections that make me go ahead and work with the beautiful elements that are within here. I also have this entire drop down where I could do something and say, like, why don't we select the whole chart area? And then even if I don't remember how to find things, this is just available. I can go home here and I could see what does it look like if I was to fill that shape in. And now my graphs look pretty darn similar. The only thing I see that's different is I have dots here. There's no dots there. The revenue appears to be in bold, and it's not quite big enough. Well, guess what? Revenue is just a text box. I can highlight it. I could bold it. This can simply be manipulated. So I could pull it straight over to there. Looks like I can go ahead and just use my arrows to scooch it around until I got it to be exactly in the location that I want it. That looks pretty darn close, doesn't it? Now, this looks a little bit bigger. That's on Calibri 18. Mine over here was only on Colibri 14. You see how I'm now making it look the exact same as the other one? The only thing I'm missing is these markers in here. Excel is selection dependent. Click here. Oops, let's go on the graph too. Click here. I'm on my line. You see how I click my line? Up here again, I have chart design. I have format. I have all these things I can do. I'm a big fan of right mouse clicking on elements. It just helps me to see exactly what I'm doing on a limited basis. So I could choose, for example, format data labels. And from format data labels, it gives me things like this is where I showed you before, where's the position and whatnot. And here's the label options. If I wanted to put the series name and stuff on there, I've got that in here. You can always minimize these things. Look, here would be fills if I wanted to. That doesn't look so nice though, does it? That's filling in the labels. I've got borders on here. If I wanted to put borders around them, see how it made lines around those things, which I don't necessarily love here either. But what I'm doing is playing now with all the different choices. I'm going to Control Z to make that go away. I didn't like the way that looked. There we go. Now we're back to par. Okay, I'm going to right mouse click that again. Select this, right mouse click, format data series. I'm looking for something specific right now. Okay, format data series. I'm looking for here on this line. Do you see how it says line? And then it says marker next to it. And next to that marker, I can go ahead and choose what type of marker I would like on there. So the marker I think I chose before was, no, it wasn't a line marker. Which one was it? Let me see over here. It was cap type, join, arrow type, smooth line. Oy, 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 oy. I'm spazzing. There it is. I couldn't find the marker option. See, sometimes it takes me a while to figure it out. So I was looking at fill. I need to be looking at markers. So instead, I can pick this automatic one, and then in there, it's going to pick for me that little round one. Again, how did I do that? Selection dependent, and then I right mouse clicked. I was formatting my data series. I had these three toggles in here. If I didn't want the marker to be that one instead of automatic, I could have done anything that I wanted with this marker in here. And that way too, I could have chosen something different if I thought. I can even insert my own images and whatnot. So do you see how Excel is so amazingly customizable? The last thing that I did was that I inserted a text box over here. And in the text box, I simply drew in underneath where I could make some commentary. For Nike, for the periods 2017 to 2019, revenues increased from 34.3 million, and then that millions, that of course means billions in there, to 39 point, call it 1 millions, representing an increase of over 5 million. Actually, I don't like the way that's looking. 34.3 millions. Let's go back. This is what you look at it as. Fiscal year ends in millions. So I need to actually state it out. That's 34.350 measured in millions. So if I'm going to list it like that, that's actually 34 billion to 34 billions, representing an increase of over 5 billion in the 3-year period. So there was one where I was showing you going back and forth and just trying to find things. Now I'll do a tighter one in number 2 to show you how to quickly and easily then do this cash balance graph.